Just before starting, Tapumoa, the sacred lands on which we are gathered, Tapumoa to the custodians of the land, the Wurundjeri and Boonwurrung peoples of the Kulin Nation. Tapumoa to their ancestors, elders past, present and emerging, and to all Indigenous folk in this space at the moment. And for those of you who, like me, do not speak Tongan, Tapumoa means to make sacred, so it's just a promise to learn about customs and obey the customs of guests as you learn them. So, I don't know about y'all, but I'm a little bit in my feels and would like to take a moment where we all just breathe together a little bit. So what I'm going to do is count to 3, and on the count of 3, just asking that we all breathe in together at the same time, hold it for a moment, and then send the breath out however and whenever you'd like to. So we all down to breathe together for a sec? Alright, so 1, 2, 3. I'll be caught in the rising with you. Maybe not like the sun. Maybe more like dirt, spinning circles inside glass vacuums, talking steam into rocks until old heartaches float like dusted cotton. We only ever hum on the exhale, only ever fall on the inhale, only ever see as far as breath can carry, which makes us both almost nothing when neither one of us is breathing. And we need to keep breathing to make sure this little world of ours keeps spinning. We could still sink our teeth into every rotation, stomachs climbing through, throats choking on words that never seem to do the feeling any justice, and then feeling the weaving of heat through fingertips, passing by every moment that we could have known each other better by, every sentence that we could have known each other better by, every storm that we probably should have weathered better by. And I'm still spinning, and these heights still make me dizzy. And I still free fall scale every cliff face of your inner dialogue, but when those storm clouds start brewing, memories of aching start brewing, I'll know that I don't need to scale cliff faces to draw those clouds to where my lips pop. And I could hand to heart promise till I've spent enough breath to make the night sky turn blue, to keep all your secrets, to be the warmer thing at your back when fresh moon rises look big enough to eat us both alive. And every time our opinions collide, we scorch the air and make these spin dry enough to put a click in my mouth, but you're still spinning, and we're still spinning, and these heights still make me dizzy, and you still have me caught. I'm still just caught in this rising with you. And it's not like the sun, and it feels more like dirt. And we're still spinning circles inside of glass vacuums, talking steam into these rocks, and these old heartaches do float like dusted cotton. And we will only ever hum on the exhale, only ever fall on the inhale, only ever see as far as breath can carry, which makes us both almost nothing when neither one of us is breathing. So I'll try not to hold my breath. Thank you. So this next piece that I'm going to do is going to be my last one. And yeah, it's just about how anybody we've come into contact with, or anybody whose stories we know, are part of our life and part of our story, and are continued that way, as well as in a lot of others. There's this line that pierced me through the middle, and I feel it better when I'm sitting, standing, breathing still. And no vice can satisfy my attention, so I just go about my day, just sitting, standing, breathing still, walking, running, sleeping still, watching dirt curve up like water does, just to measure its highest point by all that stillness. I folded pieces of you into my sleeve to keep me company. And where'd you learn to hold a hand without knotting it by its fingers? There's this tug in my belly that mentions something about a lifeline that I still need to step into story. Every time I put my foot down on lifeline, I lift it to find storyline there instead. Presses forefinger to temple so that sleeve can hear the stillness. I think that stories are following me, and I like it. Curls into pillow fort so that only sleeve can hear it. I measured life at its lowest point today, by its stillness. And it all turned into stories before it rose, just like how life falls into story at the top. I can't tell if it's going up or down yet, so in the meantime, here's a list of all the stillness. I'm breathing, standing, sitting still, sleeping, not running, but walking still pressing lifelines into storylines, still loving at the highest point, still loving at the lowest too, still trying to learn how to hold a hand without knotting it by its fingers. So there's this story about Da and Va. Da is beat and Va is all the spaces in between, and Vakas or boats, they sit in between the two, because they're the two forces that govern the line that's pierced everything through the middle, and just take turns changing hands at the stillness. And there's a story that loosely translates to binding bows together to share life. If one Vaka runs out of supplies, the one that still has food will split it right down the middle so that they can halve their lifespans for each other. Uses phone to share story with sleeve. I asked to have my lifeline with someone, and there are still two different lifelines, and I still can't see them so clearly. But I folded pieces of my loves into my sleeves to keep pieces of us safe, and life keeps pulling us in different directions to be changed to the stillness in different places, but I know that it worked. And it's not because the stillness is the same at the rise and the fall, but because every time I look at the line where my life has turned into story, all of their stories have already been pressed into mine.